Hello and welcome back to the movies made us do it. Me and Matt are back. How are you, Matt?
I am pretty good, sir. How are you?
I am very well indeed. Yeah, Master and Commander, lovely movie. Love talking about it. Good fun.
Yep, it is. It's great.
And now we're back to modern crap. Or not. I mean, some of it was good. I actually 50-50, although one of the movies is quite old now. But you know, I've seen some films. Do you want to kick us off?
Sure. I will start with She Rides Shotgun.
She Rides Shotgun. I was actually tempted to check this one out myself,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
Well, I
So.
saw, I've seen this sort of hanging around on my sort of
Mm,
list of things to give a go, and basically it sold me with Taron Egerton. So it's like, okay,
sure.
fine, I'll give that a go. So basically, we are introduced. Oh, sorry. Well, it's directed by Nick Rowland, starring Vanessa Sophia Hagar and Taron Egerton. It's basically about a guy who is estranged from his family,
Mm-hmm.
um, and he's been in prison.
Right.
And while in prison, he accepted the protection of this Aryan Brotherhood type gang. So
Right.
he basically joined up with this Aryan Steel, I think they're called, or something like that. But now he's out. He wants to sever ties with them. He wants to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so at the very start, we're introduced to Polly Huff, who's a little girl who is waiting for her mum to pick her up from school. When her father turns up and basically tells her to get in the car, and this is just not right at all. This is all feels very, very wrong. I mean, if
Mm.
it, when he turns up, it feels very much like it's a stranger trying to pick up a girl, but it's not. He
Okay.
is her dad, and she does know he's her dad, but she's clearly, doesn't really know him.
Sure.
Um, from there, we learn that he drives along. He's clearly distressed. He's got his hood up. He's hiding when the police go by. Um, and in a basically in a hotel, they just he the, while her father's asleep, she discovers that her mum and her stepdad have been murdered,
Right.
and that her father is the prime suspect.
Okay.
He's promised her that he didn't do anything. It wasn't him. And then from there, it's basically a sort of them going on the run because this Aryan Brotherhood sort of guys have put a green light on him and his family. So obviously they've already killed his ex, and they're now trying to
Yeah.
kill his
Coming.
daughter.
They're coming for him. Yeah.
So you've also got a detective who's working the case, played by Rob Yang, and he seems to be the sort of like the only um, good cop in this movie, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he's got a partner who's his partner. He says, "Oh, they're looking into this place called Slab Town, where they've got this. The god of Slab Town is this sort of shadowy figure that no one knows who he is, sort of thing. But you know, it, he it's kind of obvious as soon as you see who it is. It's like, okay, well,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
that's that's clearly the god of Slab Town. Um, you've got this sort of
I keep thinking of Bartertown. I can't stop thinking about Master Blaster now. But yeah, sorry, Slaptown.
yeah. Yeah, it's got a great big wig and yeah.
Uh huh.
Um, so it's basically a sort of on the run movie while trying to get his name off the green list, as it were, sort of thing. Get this whoever
Sure.
he wants to try and find the boss so that he can ask him to sort of like, sort of not kill him. And obviously that's not going to fucking happen. Um, so I really love this movie actually for the most part. Um, this movie is completely and utterly sold mainly on Edgerton and Anna Sophia Hagar's performances. I've not, I thought I hadn't seen her before, but I'd seen her in a TV series, but she was a tiny little girl, so it's, can't really judge on that. But
Mm.
she is absolutely wonderful as this poor little girl who's been, taken away from her mum, only to find out she's been killed. She's with a father she doesn't really know, and it's sort of like a weird bonding movie. They have these like lovely moments where he's teaching. I mean, he's teaching her how to use a baseball bat to take someone's kneecaps out, basically.
Right.
But only sort of to protect herself. He's trying to be. He's sort of trying to be a good father, because there's a bit where with a gun, and he says to her, "I don't ever want to see you, use the gun again. I don't want to ever see you shooting, because that's what I do. I do that. That's all
Sure.
on me. You don't. You have got to stay away from that stuff. I'm the bad guy. You're not. You know."
Mm-hmm.
So you get this sort of, this these wonderful little sort of moments where he's cutting her hair and dyeing her hair, and you know really badly. They need money, and she's really clever, and she works out how much money they need to pay for how much gas to
Right.
for how far they need to go, and things like
Uh-huh.
that. And there's these wonderful little bits like that. The overall sort of, when you get to the sort of investigation stuff with the cop, it's a bit sort of, okay, fine, it's okay. You're willing to go with it, but then, not sort of trying to spoil anything, but the sort of final solution is really odd.
Right.
I'm going to slightly spoil stuff here. The cop, they end up with the cop.
Mm.
He says he's going to help him out and all that sort of stuff. But but he's kind of realizes that he's sort of on his own as well, and he realizes that this, the cops are in on this, Aryan Steel or whatever they're called, thing in this slab town. He's got eyes everywhere, and he's this sort of untouchable god sort of thing, and
Sure.
he says, and he sends him on his own to go to there's like a meth lab. He's got, I've got this fortress meth lab, but you can probably get in there, if you go on, and you just sort of think, that doesn't make any sense. Why are you just sending him on his own into this sort of thing? And there's a let's just say there's a gunfight at the end that leaves a lot to be desired. It's a bit sort
Uh-huh.
of, it's a bit, you know, um, God, I'm trying to be careful here, but basically, it's like no one seems to know what cover is. There's
Sure.
like there are professional people here and like militia people, I guess you could say, and no one know that they're walking towards each other like it's the Napoleonic Wars. And
Sure.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're
yeah, I
like
know exactly what you mean.
almost in formation. It's like, what is going on? Why are they? Why is this happening? This is so weird.
It's like
So there's
World War
that.
One. They don't quite understand how guns work yet. They're just like,
No, it's
but should
very
we
strange.
just use classic tactics. This will work fine.
Yeah.
No.
Um. So some of the sort of performances of the supporting cast aren't great.
Hmm.
And the sort of towards the overall ending, I will say I liked what they did. Um. Just the lead up to it has some sort of serious, like, weird logic issues, but I can sort of overlook it mainly just because the two main actors are just wonderful.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
would,
Well, that's fair.
yeah, just this, the little girl is just so wonderful. You know when she's sort of hiding in moments where she's sort of she phones the police, and she after she finds out her mum's died, and she phones the police because they've the police say, "Oh, please, if you find it, please, if you can get to a phone, call us," sort of thing. So she calls them, and then she sort of realizes that she's sort of done not wrong, but she talked to them,
Hmm.
and they're like, "Oh, we got a couple, come and get you," blah blah blah. But she's sort of hesitant because she doesn't really want her father to be in trouble. So just these wonderful little, these little ticks and expressions that she has. That it's just this poor, scared little girl who has no fucking idea what the hell's
Hmm.
going on, and how she should react. And like I said, she doesn't know her dad, and they're bonding over weird things that that normal people really wouldn't bond over.
Sure.
But it's like making the best out of a fucking awful situation. Um, so I would recommend it on the two performances alone.
Hmm.
It's a nice thriller. It moves. It's slightly long. I think you could have probably cut the because it's over 2 hours. And I think excuse me. I think you could have probably cut down some of the stuff, maybe with the Slabtown bits that were a bit. There's a couple of sort of Slabtown bits that are like, oh, we're just going to show you how awful this guy is. Like, I think we get it. We don't.
Yeah, I think we understand. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really need the hit the guy viciously, you know, cutting someone open. We understand he's a bad guy. We already seen what he's ordered. So there's a few
Yeah.
things that were slightly unnecessary. But the film at its best is when it's just the two actors doing these wonderful, job of damaged, fucking hopeless dad, and you know, poor girl in a terrible situation. So
Yeah.
I would recommend it on that alone, and I think it's well worth your time just for the two leads, and it's directed
Cool.
quite well overall. I think other than the sort of weird decision towards the end, which doesn't quite make sense, and then when something happens, you're like, well, why didn't they do that all along? But fine. Um, yeah, it's worth your time. Just for the two leads. It's a nice movie. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I will. It was one I was hoping to check out actually. So yeah, I will add it to the list and yeah, get it watched. So I'll start with The Wrecking Crew. So I watched. This is my only 2026 film that I watched this time. I watched The Wrecking Crew, directed
I
by
I was sort of tempted by this, but I didn't get round to it.
sure, directed by Angel Manuel Soto. Starring Jason Momoa, Dave Bautista, Tamora Morrison, Morena Baccarin. Solid cast of people. There's a buddy cop action comedy, allegedly.
Hmm.
Um,
Allegedly.
so I'm told. Hey, this movie's got pretty good reviews, so I feel like I'm probably in the minority in terms of. But I didn't totally hate this movie, but I'm a lot more negative, I feel, than the people I've seen since I've watched this movie. Um,
Right.
so anyway, this it revolves around a private investigator, or it doesn't revolve around. Sorry, it begins with this private investigator, Walter Hale, who is killed in a hit and run in Hawaii. The movie makes no there's no mystery. It's clearly a hit from the very beginning of the movie. Um,
Right.
but it's played off as if it was a hit and run. At least that's what the police say. No CCTV footage, all of that kind of good stuff. We see before he is hit by the car or the van that he posts something. And then we cut to his estranged half brothers. We've got Dave Bautista, who is James. He is a U.S. Navy SEAL or ex-U.S. Navy SEAL. Now he instructs. I guess he's a Navy SEAL instructor, ex Navy SEAL,
Okay.
and the other one, Johnny,
Jason
who
Momoa,
is Jason Momoa, Aquaman, who is
or
a
Lobo now, if you like.
well. This film raised an interesting question for me. Does Jason Momoa act anymore? Was the question I was questioning, because I
I
feel like he's been playing the same character for quite a while now.
would.
I don't
Yes.
know. It's a choice because he used to do a bit. It feels like he's almost done a Stallone where he's like, "This makes me money. This is all I'll do now."
Yeah.
Because I
I
know he's
think.
capable of other roles. I've seen him do other roles, but he
Well,
does seem to.
I think Dave Bautista's sort of done this a similar thing.
Well,
He was sort
yes.
of trying for a while, and now he just seems to have fallen into just terrible action movies.
It's a real tragedy, especially for me with Dave Bautista, because he is talented as fuck. And I think he lost all of that weight, particularly to try and get out of this stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I'm really hoping that Highlander might be the movie to kind of pull him back a little and give him something a little bit different, and then maybe he can move on to other stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know. It feels like if there was a direct to DVD market anymore, he would be firmly in it with the last couple of
Yes.
movies I've seen Dave Bautista in, and he is way too talented for that, in my opinion. Um, so anyway, Dave Bautista plays the Navy SEAL, and Jason Momoa plays the now suspended police detective. He's suspended at the start of the movie. His girlfriend, played by Morena, she's leaving him at the start of the movie. And then he's all upset, and then people break into his house. Yakuza break into his house, talking about the thumb drive or whatever, the MacGuffin of the movie.
Right,
Data stick.
the Yakuza are the bad guys? I haven't seen the Yakuza as the bad guys for a while.
Well, they're back, Matt. They're back,
Cool.
and they're in Hawaii. um,
Okay. Fair enough.
so anyway, they attack him in his home, and he fucking murders them in the most gruesome ways imaginable.
Okay.
And then he heads to Hawaii to meet up with his estranged brother. Or sorry, no. Then he's invited to Hawaii for his dad's funeral, where he reconnects somewhat with his Navy SEAL brother-in-law. Half brother, who they don't get on. It turns out that Johnny's mother died. He believed it was a murder, and James didn't help him, didn't believe him in his opinion, and he's still not found his mother's killer. So neither brother particularly got on with their father. Johnny, though, takes it upon himself to be like, right, I'm going to go find my father's killer, because he couldn't find his mother's killer. So now he's going to go after the father's killer. And he's all in. James kind of appears disinterested in this endeavor, but ultimately he does his own investigation, and of course they come together and become the wrecking crew of this movie. I was hoping, we've had all of the bricklayers and the beekeepers, and I was like, I wonder if they are actually a wrecking crew in this movie, but they're not. So anyway, from here they go on this action adventure, to find who killed their father and to bring them to justice, murdering people horribly along the way. And in some ways that would be fine, I love a good buddy cop movie, as you know. So I was on board. The tone of this movie for me was all over the place, if I'm honest. I think that's the biggest problem. It like, on the one hand, wants to do the ridiculously over the top gore and violence.
Right.
That would be fine if the whole movie was just silly. But then it takes these bloody scenes so seriously when they're talking about his mother and how Dave Bautista let him down, and they have this like real emotional discussions halfway through the movie. It kind of throws the tone for me. To where it's like, you're taking some of this a bit too seriously. Some of it we're meant to take as comedy. Um, but I was kind of thinking back to, the buddy cop movies of old, and I know obviously any of the cop movies from back in the day, you'd never get away with that if you were a cop. Obviously
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
Obviously not.
yeah. Certainly not if you wish to continue to be a cop.
Hmm. But in this movie, at the start of the movie, like I said, his house is invaded. Johnny's house is invaded, and in a 80s, 90s, even 70s movie, they'd shoot them all or stab them or whatever and deal with them, right?
Yeah.
And then fine, right? But in this, it's like, oh, they disturb a picture of his mother, so he grabs one of them, rips his jaw off, and then rubs his face through broken glass and gets a cheese grater and grates this fucking guy's arm and then stabs him through the neck with a fucking you're like, what the fuck? Like you are definitely going to jail for this shit. Like, it's not like you shot them in self-defense. It's full-on vindictive, vindictive murder,
ultra violence here
and torture. Yeah, right. And like, on the one hand, I love that shit because it is funny if the tone's right, but on the other hand, it is like, what the fuck? And there's a particular scene right towards the end where they're having this chase on the motorway. There's a helicopter shooting at them, and they're being chased on the motorway, and they must murder about 25 innocent people. Like at one point, there's bikers come up on them, and they rip one of the bikers' arms off, and then he goes flying off of his bike, and then another guy, Dave Bautista, gets his face, which has a helmet on, because he gets in the car and he grabs him and he smashes his face into the pavement until the helmet disappears and then his face disappears. And then he's just a dead body, and then he throws the dead body out the car, and it flings back, hits another car, that car hits another car, and it all explodes, and everybody fucking dies. Like, just innocent drivers on the motorway. They're all fucking dead. And Dave Bautista's like, oh, oops, and they're like, oh, wow, that was weird, holy shit, and then move on. And you're like, you just murdered 50 people. They were innocent people.
We just killed half of Hawaii. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not that big of a place. You just murdered everyone. So it's fun in places. Tonally, whenever it stops to be serious, you're like, you're losing me here. Like, what are you trying to do? Because you could have done a fun action revenge buddy cop movie that would have been a bit more serious if you toned this shit right back. And there's because you've got some good actors in this, you could have, there's a seed of an interesting movie here. You could have done that, or you could have gone with the full-on silly comedy. Trying to do both is where this movie fails for me. And also, I rewatched Old Boy with a friend on Saturday, and we were literally talking on Saturday. I said, oh my God, remember after this movie, all of those goddamn hallway scenes? Everyone wanted their bloody hallway scene fight. This movie does that.
A single shot hallway scene. And
fuck me, I'm watching this movie and Dave Bautista does a hallway scene. And I was like, oh God. And it is, it's awful. So it's a mixed bag. I would say it's a mixed bag. It's funny in places. You know who the villains are.
Well, weirdly, you actually inspired me to want to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
I'm not going to bother, really. I think, but
it's not terrible. It is funny in places. I just think tonally, it's all over the place for me. That's my biggest issue with it. I think it should have just leaned into the silly and just never looked back.
Yeah.
Or gone a bit more serious, toned down the violence, and actually made something a bit more interesting. It's somewhere in the middle for me. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's just kind of, it's all right. Over long though. It is over 2 hours long, which is ridiculous.
Okay.
No need for that. Oh, and Tamora Morrison's in it.
Yeah, I saw that. Is he?
Yeah.
Does he playing... do anything? People keep casting him.
Well, allow me to
letting him do anything.
Allow me to not spoil this movie. He turns up at the start and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the best friend of your family, and we're like, I look after you guys." And I'm like, villain.
Yeah.
like you're Tamora Morrison. The fuck you talking about?
Yeah.
And sure enough, by the end of the movie, But whatever. That's a minor spoiler. He's not the main villain of the movie, but you know.
No.
So I would recommend it. Is some mindless stuff. It is overlong. They needed to lose quite a bit, and they probably should have toned down the torture slash innocent murder that they do during this movie.
Right.
But fine. Yeah, not terrible, not great. It's kind of a middle of the road. I'll never watch it again, but it was okay.
Okay.
That's where I am with the Wrecking Crew.
Yeah.
And it sets up for a sequel, which I guess will probably
Oh
happen.
God.
The reviews seem to be quite positive for it, so I imagine it'll probably happen.
Okay.
Hopefully, Dave Bautista will get better work, and we won't see it. You know, I don't like Dave Bautista being in these roles, man. I want him to have real acting roles because he's really
Yeah.
talented. You know.
Oh well. I mean,
You,
I guess if it pays the bills, you know.
well, yeah, it clearly does, and I'm hoping that that's what he's doing. You know,
Yeah.
he's
Well,
doing
I mean,
doing
he's
like
certainly writing
five
quite
rubbish action movies pay for him to do a decent movie. You know,
Yeah.
an acting role.
I mean, it has been a
Um,
while since he's done a decent movie, to be fair.
that's the worry. We enjoyed that action movie from last year though, didn't we? That was quite fun.
Which one?
The one where he's got a brain condition, he's gonna die, and then he's got
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
girl. That was fun. You know, it wasn't great, but it was fun. I think that was better than this, mainly due to their chemistry. But I thought that was better than
Yeah.
this. But yeah. Anyway, what else have you watched?
So I will go with Fackham Hall.
Fackham Hall, which I'm assuming is kind of a parody, is it? I'm assuming
It is.
of
It is a parody of basically Downton Abbey.
I assumed, yeah, okay,
Which sort of ends up going into Agatha Christie territory
right, okay,
when it sort of becomes a whodunit. I mean, you know, tenuously.
sure,
So basically, we are introduced to the Davenport family, and Lord Davenport, played by Damian Lewis, and Catherine Waterston as Lady Davenport, and they are basically at the beginning they are worried about their daughter Rose, who is 22 and you know already a hag. She's you know not married yet, and she reads and you know all the usual stuff that happens in these things. What and they're basically the older daughter is about to get married, um, because Fackham Hall has no male heirs, so they must marry within the family. So the the oldest sister is Poppy is has managed to find one of the cousins that she likes, so they can keep the house within the family. But of course, at the altar, she professes her love for a a what's not what's the word I'm looking manure a manure salesman, uh,
right.
who an older manure salesman who she's going to run off with, and leaving the family, you know, with only Rose to count on to
When
marry the
when is
family.
this set?
30s,
Okay, yeah,
the 1930s.
manure is still a valid trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's money to be made in manure, for sure. I mean, there still is, but you know.
So we've got Tom Felton playing Archibald, who's the cousin that was supposed to be getting married to. So now they're trying to push Rose off onto him. Um, and meanwhile, you've got this young Eric who is an orphan boy who is really good at pickpocketing and stuff like that. And
Uh huh.
he he's lives at this. He's got this orphanage that he lives at, and a mysterious stranger turns up and says, "Hey, you deliver this message, this letter to the Davenports at Fackham Hall, and you know, be quick about it and all that sort of stuff." Of course, on the way, he bumps into Rose literally. She sort of runs him over, And
Right.
they immediately fall in love. So he doesn't deliver the message. He keeps the message and takes a job at Fackham Hall as the I can't remember what the job is. Is whatever it is? It's like underfootman, but I think it's
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's a weird thing of what that job entails. So you so from there you get it's the sort of the absurdities of class and all that sort of stuff and just funny little throwaway gags like um the fastest tailor in Britain tailor shop called Taylor Swift. And just little sort
That's a
of
very good name. Yeah.
it is, yeah. And there's a map of Fackham Hall with places like Ricky Lake and Jonah Hill
Okay.
next to it. So you have little throwaway things like that. So it's the humor is very sort of it's very British humor, but it's also very Naked Gun sort of humor.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous things like Lord Davenport is so sort of rich and posh, he barely has to do anything himself. So he has a butler that stands behind him and puts his arms through his and like lights his cigarette for him and drinks for him and all that sort of stuff. He's too posh to do all that. And it's yeah, so it's real, slapstick and weird little innuendos and it's that sort of humor and it's a real sort of throwback to those sort of things. And it's I thought it was bloody hilarious. It
Mm-hmm.
really did it for me. Um
I mean, it sounds like
Damien
a great parody. You know.
It is. Damien Lewis is really great as Lord Davenport. Catherine Watson as Lady Davenport is great. You've got
I
Thomas
think we
Denzel.
forget that. I think we sorry. I was gonna say I think we forget that. I think like scary movie films kind of ruined the movie parody, but they used to be great.
Yeah,
And this sounds like a really good comeback of that kind of proper
it
send
is.
up. I like that. There's definitely a market for this.
It is. I mean, if you see the trailer, which I would say if you haven't watched the movie, don't watch the
Mm,
trailer because a lot of the really good jokes
okay.
are in the trailer, which is annoying. But there are enough other jokes that I think it doesn't completely ruin it. But I think the main problem with the trailer is it ruins Jimmy Carr's jokes
Right.
as the vicar who's doing the ceremonies and things.
Mm-hmm.
His jokes do get slightly ruined by
Right.
the trailer, but they're still really funny and they still work. If you have seen them, it's just the way it's a sort of not mispronouncing, but it's a full stop in the wrong place sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Tom Felton is the sort of the horrible cousin is fun. Um, all the staff. You've got a butler that's called it's spelt Cyril but pronounced Siri.
Right.
So there are like Siri jokes which
Uh-huh.
well I found funny. I think it's one of those movies that you might have to watch a couple of times to get all of them because there's a number of little things that you kept missing. There are things written on walls and on labels and things that are just like, oh no, I didn't have time to read it. Damn it! I'll have to watch it again at some point to get it. There's there's a weird um, protracted cameo by J.R.R. Tolkien for some reason. I mean, it's not obviously Tolkien; it's
Yeah,
somebody
of
playing
course, yeah.
Tolkien. But one of the house guests is Tolkien, who who is getting um, inspiration for his new book from people around him. Like there's a sort of Bilbo Baggins reference and weird sort of yeah, it worked for me. I didn't think I just thought it was an odd choice, but it was fine. It didn't feel too disrespectful to him. Um,
Right.
you've got Sue Johnston playing great Aunt Bonaparte, who's it's a small role, but she's great. Um, yeah, it's just really fun and a real sort of welcome throwback to
Mm-hmm.
that this sort of humor. It's a genuine joy to actually have a movie that, I mean, I'm not saying it's the best of its kind. You know, you're never going to beat Naked Gun and an
No,
aeroplane and
no, of
stuff like
course not.
that. But I think it fits very comfortably in that.
In the hot shots, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It feels very, and especially if you know. I mean, I love Downton Abbey. I don't care what anybody says. I really love
No,
it.
no, yeah, a lot of
I
people
still
love
haven't
Downton
seen the
Abbey.
last movie, which I do intend on watching. But I love that Downton Abbey. I think it has its place, and it's great at what it does. And this is a is a wonderful, you know, send up of that genre, and does it perfectly well with just you know, Damien Lewis I've seen being funny before,
Mm.
but you do sort of forget, because he's such a great dramatic actor, that you sort of forget that he can be really funny. Um, and yeah, I really enjoy it. I highly recommend it to anybody who loves this sort of comedy. It does a really good job of it. There's a really one that made me laugh heartily, which I'm slightly spoil. Um, there there are twin sisters who um, who will talk about nothing but men, and want to, you know, that their lives will not be complete until they are married. And of course, they turn out to be the Bechtel sisters,
Mm-hmm.
which is obvious but funny.
Yeah.
Um, and you know, it does exactly what it says on the tin. It sends up all these things, and it does it really, really well. So I would highly recommend it to anybody who loves this sort of thing. It's good. It's a good fun and a good time.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that sounds fun. I'm quite pleased that the because I really enjoyed. By the way, I think I said I thoroughly enjoyed the last new Naked Gun movie. I thought was actually really funny. So
Still
maybe
haven't seen
these
that.
days are maybe the days are coming back of these kind of parody send up movies.
Yeah, if they're done
And
right, they could be
well, yeah, they
really.
were always good if they were done right. And it sounds like this one is up there.
Yeah.
So I have to go back to 2023 apparently. Although that's
Okay.
when this movie appeared at a festival. So when it actually
Oh,
released
right,
over
not
here.
properly released. Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure when it actually released, but I saw it this week. I saw Perfect Days. Um Directed by Wim Wenders. This movie starring Koji Yakusho. Um this movie is going to be marmite for people. I think people are either going to love this movie or probably hate this movie
Well,
and say nothing.
that's a Vim Vendors thing, though, isn't it?
It really is, right? It really is.
It's very does it.
I adored this movie. This movie was wonderful. Um so it's kind of a there is no real three-act structure to this movie. What you have, and on the surface, very little happens in this film. On the surface, effectively, what we see is a man called Hirayama, who works as a toilet cleaner for the Tokyo Toilet Project. Um, and basically, he goes around town just cleaning toilets. We see about 4 or 5 days. It's about a week in his life. And you just get to follow him around and see how he lives his life effectively.
This sounds like a very Vim Vendors movie.
Yeah, no, it is. It absolutely is that. He basically has he lives a very solitary life. He just lives on his own. He is very regimented in his life. Like he loves his routine. He has his routines. Like he gets up every morning. When he leaves his house, there's a vending machine outside. He'll get his coffee from the vending machine outside. He then gets in the car. He puts in tapes. He loves listening to music on tapes, and he's very there's a whole scene where he's talking about he loves the sound of tape cassettes. and then he goes to his job and he thoroughly cleans toilets. You know, he's very uh he's
Particular.
very yeah, regimented in his cleaning and very thorough in his cleaning. And he's got some like young asshole who joins him for one of the days where he's like cleaning, and he's, you know, he's young and he's dating this girl and he just wants to get off to date her, and he's on the phone all the time. He's distracted. Whereas Hirayama is just dedicated to his craft, and you know, there's a lot of scenes of him cleaning toilets in this movie very thoroughly. And he has a love of trees. He loves trees. In fact, at one point, his niece comes to visit, and they have a discussion about whether this tree is his friend. And he kind of says, "Yeah, actually, this tree is my friend." And he loves plants as well. Like he finds a plant and he sometimes takes plants home from the park, and you know, cares for them at home. This is a movie on the surface about very very little. It is just following his life over the week. But you do get glimpses into his life. Obviously, through his repetition, you learn a lot from him. You kind of see the kind of person he is, how kind he is, that he is a man of routine. There's a lovely couple of scenes where he meets a woman in the park who you get the impression is almost exactly like him, because they're always there at the same time, and they always just exchange a glance at each other and then get on with their day, and they both go there to eat their sandwich, and then they move away and go off and do their own thing. But you do see throughout the film, you know, his obvious choice to live a solitary life, to live a simple life, an analog life. You know, like he quite happily lives his quiet life with his tapes and his books. He loves reading. He's chosen this life, but you also see there's a lot of sadness and loneliness with it. You get a point where his niece runs away from home and joins him for a day. And during that day, it's quite clear that he has issues with the rest of his family. He's kind of isolated from the rest of his family, and you can see that he's quite emotional about that. There's some great moments with her as well, because obviously then you've got this kid who decides she wants to join him for the day, and she kind of comes to see the wonder that he has in his life. You know, that simplicity. She kind of learns to like it.
Yeah.
You know, they have great discussion about Spotify at one point where he's, you know, she doesn't know how tapes work, so he's kind of showing her how to put the tape in and play it. And it's Van Morrison, and she's like, "Oh, can I get this on Spotify?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know. What shop is that? Like, where is Spotify? I don't know where Spotify is." And obviously she's like laughing, and you know, she's got her phone with her camera. He's got like an analog camera, black and white film camera. And so it basically, like I said, if all of this sounds boring as shit to you, you'll be bored by this movie. It's a wonderful, wonderful film. It is wonderfully directed. The performance by Koji Yakusho is stunning. There is a scene at the end of this movie, which I will tell you what happens in the final scene of the movie. It won't spoil it because it's so beautiful. He's driving his van at the end of the movie, and he goes, it's just a close up on his face, and he goes between joy and absolute grief, back and forth in this one shot, and it is beautiful. His performance throughout this movie is absolutely superb. It's just a really lovely little movie, just following someone's life for 5 days who has weird ways. They have their eccentricities and their routine, and you're just following a man in his routine. There's lovely little things, like when he's cleaning the toilets, in one of the toilets he finds a piece of paper, this like kind of stashed behind one of the urinals.
Yeah.
And someone started a noughts and crosses game, and throughout the movie he plays noughts and crosses with someone that he never meets. And at the end, they complete the game, and someone's written "thank you" at the bottom of the note, and that's that. He's just played a game of noughts and crosses with someone he's never met before. It's a lovely, lovely movie. You know,
Yeah.
it's just a great little movie about someone's life. On the surface, bugger all happens in it. I loved every second of it. Like, do you know what I mean? I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah. Well,
fantastic movie.
I mean, Wenders has that
Yeah, he
that
does.
sort of
It's
thing,
his
doesn't
thing.
he? It's kind of one of his sort of things, is that it's movies where
The mundanity
a lot happens, but not a lot happens. You know, it's
absolutely.
they're wonderful movies. I mean, it still hurts. Well, we've done. I think one of our best movies that we've covered is Wings of Desire.
You're
I think
damn
it's one of our
fucking
best.
right. And no
Yeah,
one's watched it.
no one's
It's
seen
one
it.
of our least viewed ones, but it is one of our
I was
best
just looking
reviews.
at 27 people have seen it, and it hurt.
27 people.
I know. I mean, I understand it. It's not a
I
massively
it's
well-known movie,
it's
but
not that, because I know it's not massively well-known movie, and it's not the kind of movie you'd expect to do well in terms of, because we've got our Hammer audience seems to be where we do really well, right?
mhm.
And a few other things have done really well, but
Westerns tend to
that's
do well.
probably the review I am most proud of.
Yeah,
That
I
Wings
love
of
that.
Desire review is bloody brilliant, and I'm really disappointed that more people haven't listened to that.
Yeah,
So,
and
but anyway,
it's one of my favorite movies. It's such a wonderful movie, and
it
this is
is.
one of those movies that when it came out, I was like, oh, I've got to watch that, and then completely forgot about it. Completely went out
Yeah.
of my head.
Hmm.
So it's been something that I've wanted to see for ages, but just never got round to.
Mm.
So
But yeah, so
yeah,
it's it's just a movie about following a simple man living his life. He's isolated man. You get hints as to why he's isolated. You see his simple joys in life, and also his sorrow. You know, it's a lovely little character study over 4 or 5 days. Just following his life and his little routines. Wonderful movie. If
mm,
you're in the mood for that kind of movie, and if you're not,
yeah,
if what I've said sounds really dull, just do not watch it, because you will not enjoy this movie. Believe me, there is at no point going to be some huge hideous gunfight like Wrecking Crew or anything like that. He literally is just a toilet cleaner for the whole movie.
yeah, and
It's
give some
not
of his
like
other
it's not like the
go.
beekeeper. He's not going to suddenly be an assassin. Um,
No,
he genuinely just cleans toilets. But no, it's
uh,
joking aside, this film is beautiful. It's lovely. I wish I'd known about it. I'm trying to think about what was in my top 5 of 2023, because this might have made it in there. This is brilliant. It's really brilliant.
and I would recommend anybody watch his other movies like Wings of
Oh,
Desire and
100%.
Paris, Texas, and
Mm-hmm.
Until the End of the World. So yeah, he's done some truly beautiful, you know, uh, sure, not for everybody, but if you want to see very quiet, beautiful movies that
Yeah.
usually make you think about, you know, life and death and all that sort of stuff, and
Oh, this movie does
just
that. There's
just
a
the
very
relationship,
sweet
isn't it?
Yeah, there's a very sweet scene towards the end, um, uh, relating to someone that he meets is an ex husband of one of the characters we meet through the movie, and I don't really want to talk about it because it's such a sweet scene. It's so
Mm,
lovely, but if I told you it, would just kind of spoil the whole thing. It's a lovely interaction under a bridge, looking out over Tokyo. It's a really heartwarming but sorrowful scene. It's lovely. Yeah, I cannot like, if you like the director's other work, or if you're in the mood for a real slow burn movie, a nice little character study, a really sweet film, I highly recommend this one. I thought it was fantastic.
okay.
Yeah, there you go. So what else have you watched?
So thanks to my lovely wife, who wanted to watch it, uh, I also watched Zootopia,
No,
Zootrop, Zootropolis
dude,
too.
I typed Zootopia when I was
I
typing the
know.
title for this, and I had to delete it and go back and
I
change
keep,
it.
yeah, I keep mucking
Uh,
up the. It's like
I
okay,
was
what Zootropolis, Utopia,
I was
whatever.
joking about this with Jax the other day, because she was taking her son, or she was thinking about taking her son to see Zootropolis 2. I think she did in
Yeah,
the end. And she was like, "I've not seen Zootropolis 1." And I was like, "Well, do you need to know what happens in Zootropolis 1? Are you going to understand the plot of Zootropolis 2 if you have not seen Zootropolis 1?"
what
Um,
I would say, you
I'm guessing you
don't
can pick it up.
get the build up of their characters and why they're
Hmm.
together.
So have you seen Zootropolis 1?
Yes, and
Okay.
I don't remember whether I reviewed it when
I'm
we
sure you
watched it or not.
did. Oh.
Probably did. Yes, me and my wife loved that movie very much.
And how did you
It's
feel?
real fun. So this is the sequel.
Mm.
It's taken like 7 years before they do it. I think it is. Um, so it's the continuing adventures of Nick Wilde the fox, voiced by Jason Bateman, and
Mm-hmm.
Judy Hopps the rabbit, uh, voiced by Jennifer Goodwin. So in the first, basically, it's a sort of animals are going feral for no you know there's this big city where animals live in harmony, blah 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 blah. But some animals going against picking up their old instincts, and they're going feral and eating, attacking, sheep and things like, the sort of plant eating mammals, all that sort of stuff. And Judy Hopps is the latest cop, and she's a bunny, and obviously all the other cops are like big mammals, and she's the first little rabbit sort of thing. And then you've got Jason Bateman's fox, Nick, who is basically a con man, and they sort of team up to solve this thing. So obviously they solved that. So this continues that, and it basically picks up right after the first one's ended. And I did think, wow, why did they choose to do that? Surely
Hmm.
they could have done some time had passed, and because now Nick's a cop now, and
Right.
they're partners, and they've got a new bunch of cops that they seem to be uh, against. So
Hmm.
you've got Captain and Hogbottom and Truffler, who are sort of warthogs, and you've got these two ze- zebros, who are two zebras,
Of
voiced by, I
course.
think it's voiced by CM Punk and Joe Anio,
Okay. I know
wrestlers.
CM Punk the wrestler.
Yeah, well, the
And
other guy's a wrestler as well. I don't know him, but
no.
you've got uh, other other voice. You've got Patrick Warburton playing Mayor Wind Dancer, who's a horse. You've got Danny Trejo playing Jesus. Andy Samberg. You've got Kei Kwan. So this time round, it's the Zootopia, Zootropolis, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Um, it's sort of divided into biomes. So you have like the tundra, and you've got like the tropical bit, and you've got all these sort of these bits, and there's
You
a
got all the video game levels, yeah.
yeah, exactly. You've got all the sort of little bit
The
parts of it,
classic NES video game levels.
and it's a sort of uh, a bicentennial or something like that of the founding of this thing by this Lynx guy whose family is sort of they're high ups. They supposedly put this together, and the book of the plans is going on display in this museum, and nobody has seen any reptiles in Zootropolis, for years.
Right.
There was there was an incident where one of these sort of founding people was killed, but it was poisoned by a reptile, by a snake, and they were basically shunned, and they now live on the sort of fringes of society in this sort of swampy area. And the tundra section is going to be increased.
Right.
So Judy thinks that there's something going on here. There's a smuggling thing that someone smuggled a snake into the city, and there's now this mystery of are these Lynx people actually bad? Are they? Of course, they're fucking bad. It's obvious that they're bad, but then there's a young Paul Burt, the young uh, Lynx Andy Samberg, who seems to be on the side of good, and wants to prove that it wasn't his ancestors that made this city; it was somebody else. It was
Mm-hmm.
possibly a snake, possibly. So yeah, and it's a fast moving sort of non-stop running around the city trying to clear their names and sort of thing, and find out what's going on with this thing, and find evidence that these people are bad and all that, that sort of thing. Um, so yeah, beautiful animation. Um, for the most part, really real fun. Um, I did think there's the relationship between Judy and Nick. They've decided to make it a little more antagonistic in this one. There's a lot of weird sort of therapy things. It's like, oh, you need to go to partners therapy because she does nothing but talk over him, and he sort of just lets her do it. And but she gets him into situations that he doesn't want to be in. And there's a point in the movie where you're going, this is making me hate Judy because she's being a real bitch. And even at the end, when there's like, oh, you get that. Obviously, you're going to get your reconciling moment, and they're going to come back together, and they're going to be on the same
Sure.
page, all that sort of stuff. But even then, when they've done that, you do sort of think, yeah, but she didn't really apologize properly, did she?
Right.
She did sort of apologize, but you know, she could have done a bit better. But sure, okay, fine. Um, it is nowhere near as fun as the first one.
Mm.
Uh, I think I think the decision to make it so soon now, well, not the film. I mean, make the continue the story so quickly and not have a sort of some time has passed sort of thing seemed to me to be an odd decision, but it's fine. Um, all the sort of you know um supporting cast, Nate Torrance, Bonnie Hunt, Michelle Gomez, Patrick Warburton is the mayor is really hilarious. There's a moment where he's counting and he's using his hooves to count out, which I thought was great.
Mm.
You've got returning cast like Idris Elba and Shakira still, which
Right.
okay, fine. There's a couple of jokes about threesomes and foursomes that were like,
Really?
um, yeah. There's a
Okay.
character called Nibbles Maple Stick, who's a sort of conspiracy theorist um, beaver
Right.
who keeps making this comment about threesomes of where the action is, sort of thing, and you think this is a kids movie, right?
Yeah, I mean
It's
it's a fine line. You want to give something for the adults
yeah.
watching, but you don't want to be so overt that kids are asking
No.
what that is afterwards, you know?
Um,
Like
yeah, I think it's like the Shrek movies do a really good job of
yeah,
having
and the Simpsons
something for
always
the
used to do a good
parents.
job of having a
Yeah,
double, you know. But you've got
and,
to be
and
careful because you don't want your kid leaving the cinema and being like, "Mum,
no,
what's a threesome?" You know.
and there is the sort of there are some bits where you okay, that was for clearly for the grown ups, but that one was a bit sort of okay. That's not that's just blatant. That's a bit weird.
Mm.
um, but overall, other than the sort of the weird, you know, Judy being a bit more of a dick than I would have liked, um, I still enjoyed it. It was really fun. There's a really good I won't say what horror movie, but there's a really good horror movie. It'll obvious as soon as it turns up. There's a
Mm-hmm.
really good horror horror movie reference that made me laugh quite hard, and I really enjoyed that towards the end. It was really fun. So overall, I would say yeah, good. If you like the first one, you're probably going to like this one. It's still pretty good.
Mm.
Just not as good as the first one. It's still fun. There's still some, all the voice acting is good. All of the actual visuals are still stunning. There's a there's a big burning man thing, which is burning mammal for them, and
Right.
which again was quite weird. Especially when you see some of the animals wandering around in some of the outfits. Like, okay, that's a bit odd, but sure. Um, So yeah, I recommend it as a pretty good sequel. It's all right. It has its moments. As I said, everyone's doing their job. So yeah, I would as long if you, I would have said it was probably a bit odd if you've seen this one and not the first one. But
Yeah.
you know,
Ah, fair enough. Yeah.
I don't think there's anything that would be too jarring not to
No.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't get the build up of their relationship, which
Mm-hmm.
I would say you probably need really. to know why they've got the differences in this. But you know,
Yeah. That's fair enough. Yeah. I mean, my friend like had to, it was like, hey, let's take the kid to the cinema. So this was
yeah,
what was on. So um, but yeah, no, that sounds fun. I must admit I've never watched Zootropolis 1, so I will have to do that. It's funny that you called it Zootopia though, because
I know.
I typed Zootopia when I was putting this in, and I had to correct myself. So
Yeah,
yeah. Anyway, is that all of the movies? I think that is all the
that is
movies,
all of
right?
the movies. But I have seen the second season of Fallout.
I've watched a few episodes.
Okay, so
Uh,
we both mostly liked the first season. There was bits that we
Mostly
thought
liked
were
it.
a bit,
Yes,
yeah,
I thought it was fine overall. Some bits I liked, some bits I didn't, but it was
yeah,
yes, it was certainly a Fallout show. So
yeah,
fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So how far have you seen?
I think 2 or 3 episodes in.
Okay,
They met Caesar's Legion. That's about
right.
where I got to.
Okay,
But feel free to spoil it. I don't really mind.
right. Well,
And I think to be completely clear, when I say I was watching it, I had it on and I was doing stuff, which is probably how I will watch the rest of the series. Like it's
yeah.
not something that's grabbing me enough to where I feel like I need to watch it
So
100%.
I think this
Um,
one again. This is not as good as the first season. Um, it 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 became one of those shows where you're going, can we just go back to that character
right.
because
Yeah.
these characters are annoying the crap out of me. So
It's weird, isn't it? Because even in season 1, it was very clear who the stars of the show were.
yeah,
And even in season 1, they kept going off to these other people, and you're like, I'm not sure.
yeah.
I'm not sure.
I basically whenever Lucy and the Ghoul are on, that's fine. There's
Yes.
I'm really happy with their storylines. Um, there's a
Well,
few
that
bits
was
that
that was the thing. I was watching those scenes and kind of drifting whenever it went to anyone else.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Brotherhood of Steel has become even worse.
Mm.
Um, and Maximus is just so fucking dull. I they seem to be doing their best to try and make him the sort of oh he's the sort of the only heroic guy in a bad situation that
Oh, really?
they've given him that role, but he's just so fucking dull
Mm.
that I just every time the Brotherhood and I should want to watch a fucking the Brotherhood of Steel stuff. It should be
Yeah, they're
really
cool.
interesting
Yeah.
and exciting. But they basically so they have the the MacGuffin from the first season. They've got the power source thing, the whatever the
Yes.
bloody hell it is. They've got that now, and they've set up the thing, and the cleric guy who's the boss is he's gonna reunite all of the factions of the Brotherhood and try and get them all back together on the same page. Um,
Sure.
and go against I forget which one he's supposed to be against now. There's one that he doesn't want to be involved, and
I
obviously
can
they
I
do.
can already see where this is going. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, so they all took all the sort of heads of the other Brotherhood
Is it? Yeah.
people turn up,
Uh-huh.
and they are the dumbest, annoying twats that you've ever fucking seen, and one of the worst things this show does is tone. So
Yeah.
you see these guys, you see them prattling about. They're clearly dickheads. And the first scene you see them all pissing about, you think, okay, this is where we're going, right? They're all slapstick. It's all a bit silly.
Mm.
And then later on, they have this big meeting where it's like deadly serious, and they're discussing hard issues, and you're like, no, you can't show us these people being
Being
assholes,
absolute morons. Yeah.
dicks, and then expect us to take anything they fucking say remotely fucking seriously. No, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it just doesn't fucking work. Pick a fucking tone and stay with it, or
Well, I
at
mean
least
that's
soften it a little.
like what Fallout, particularly Fallout 1 and 2, the
Yeah,
games. nailed
Hmm.
perfectly.
Yeah.
It's a you know, it's a comedy, post-apocalyptic, horrific slash comedy
Yeah.
RPG. There's funny stuff in it, but the characters are earnest and they're taking it seriously. You know, like the that's what works is the tone. Everyone's a straight man in it, but it's ridiculous. Like
And
that's
I know the games got sillier as they went on. The
oh yeah, the Bethesda
the
ones
tone
were
on
yeah.
amongst the games is different.
Mm.
I
Well, it's
after
clearly
Vegas it gets sillier, doesn't it? After
well
Vegas is
these.
when it
I mean, Vegas was the last good one, in my opinion. But
yeah
the you know, these are clearly this series is clearly Bethesda's Fallout. It's not
yeah
Interplay's Fallout. Although there are some nice callbacks in the first season,
yeah
particularly.
you do there's some lovely stuff in
There's
it.
you know, some
I mean,
continuity issues too, but
it looks fantastic. Yeah, that is another one. And I think they've also they've changed a lot of things, but they've also now made them canon, like the stuff to make that the chemical that ghouls take to keep them from going feral. It's
mm,
like that was never a thing, but now apparently in
now
Fallout
it's a thing,
76, yeah, apparently they've added it to Fallout 76, and
right?
it's a thing now. It's like, oh, that seems a bit limiting, but
Mm,
sure.
yeah.
Um, the stuff with the brother character Norman, him escaping um the vault that he was in.
Oh yeah, I
Like
remember the scene with him and the yeah, I remember that scene
it's like
early on.
I don't care. I really
No,
don't give a fuck about this character or his
I
situation.
must admit when it came to the scene because I saw the scene with him when he was talking to the brain and then he was going to wake everyone up, and when it cut to him, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot he was a character in this show. I
Yeah,
was like, oh yeah, he was in this show. Yeah, okay.
yeah. It's like okay, sure, he still exists.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, he's still there.
the stuff when it goes into the other vault, I forget, it's like 30, whatever 30 it bloody is. That the three vaults
Hmm.
that were linked,
Yeah,
all the stuff in basically Lucy's old vault and the adjoining vault that
yeah.
people from that vault moved into, at the end. All that stuff again, I don't care. I'm all of those characters are so dumb and so fucking annoying. There's this running gag about, oh, now we've moved into this new world. I'm having real trouble because um I have to turn left instead of turning right, and I keep getting, it's like, why do we care? Just,
No.
it's not funny, and it's not fucking endearing. You're just making me hate these characters in this fucking storyline even fucking more. Stop fucking doing it. It's just bollocks.
Yeah, I mean, you do the one and done Star Trek Five, Scotty. I know the ship like the back of my hand. Knock yourself out joke. They turn the wrong way, walk into a wall. Joke done.
Yeah,
Move on. Like
yeah,
that's it. That's it. You've done
yeah.
it. Move on.
No, there is one thing in that in that area sort of storyline that
Mm.
really made me happy, and that, slight spoiler for people, um, they killed off Woody Thomas's character, which was like, thank fuck for that. At least one of those twats is dead.
Yeah, at least one's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, and the he disappeared. The thing is they do, there is that sort of no body, no, you know no death. You
Yeah.
don't see his body, but you do see, his broken glasses. And I was like, oh, please be fucking dead. Please don't turn up later. And so far, he's still dead, as I'm aware, which makes
So
me really, really
have
happy.
you finished the show yet?
Yes, I watched the
Okay.
whole show.
Because I haven't. I've seen 2 episodes, and I'm gonna guess that the Enclave are the end of this season. That'd be my guess.
What's that?
Or
Sorry.
that I have seen 2 episodes of this season, and my guess is
Yeah.
that the Enclave are turning up next season. Is that a fair guess? Or did they turn up at the end of this season?
So you see the building that you saw in the first one
Yeah.
that what's his face escapes from.
Mm.
You see them receiving messages from the vaults,
Mm.
but you don't really see anybody or anything
Okay.
other than suggestions.
They are playing
It's
the long game with them a little more than I
yeah,
was
they are.
expecting, I must
They're
admit.
still doing that. They're still doing the whole.
That's good. That is good. That they're
Um,
kind of leaving them to be a a looming
they
threat.
they do mud. They keep muddying the waters of who dropped the bombs, who is responsible.
Does it really fucking matter?
Well, I always thought no, not really.
No, not really.
I mean,
Um,
I've always thought it was fine if Voltec did it.
well, that was always my assumption anyway. Playing the
Yeah,
games, like
but it's. I mean, I guess it's leaning more towards the Enclave did it, or maybe
right.
some other shadowy organization did it. That they're
Hmm.
setting up. Oh, there's a nice sort of cameo for Clancy Brown as the president of America
Nice.
in the past stuff, which I'm guessing if the season 3 does go ahead, he's probably going to be in more.
I imagine it
Um,
will.
so yeah, all the ghoul stuff, all the stuff in the past with Walton Goggins, that's still enjoyable. That's still fun.
Yeah.
Still enjoying that, and the him and Lucy wandering around the waste is still good.
But that's what you
Um,
want from a Fallout show: is someone
yeah,
wandering around the wasteland and encountering weird people and finding weird stuff going on. That's the
yeah.
point.
There's
Have an
some odd,
overarching story, but that's really the bread and butter of Fallout: is wandering around the
yeah.
wasteland and finding weird communities and getting caught up and embroiled in these
And
crazy situations.
they kind of I don't didn't like in the first season. I didn't like that they nuked Shady.
No, Shady
Like
Sands. No.
Shady Sa- I didn't like that they did that, and they sort of by doing that they weakened all of the other factions. They sort they ruined the Republic and
Well,
stuff.
and also as a someone who played Fallout 1, it just Shady Sands. You just nuked it. Okay. That's
Yeah,
kind of. I'm pretty sure that breaks the canon of the games, but fine. I mean,
it,
whatever.
it's a fucking it was a weird choice.
That was a very
Um,
strange choice.
and
I mean, I guess
base,
I'll just say, well, it happened way later, but yeah.
well, I will say that the overseer, McLean Hank,
Hmm.
the Cal McLaughlin's character,
Oh
I
yeah, he
did
was doing
I
some he was doing some remote control person thing. The last
yeah,
this, yeah,
that actually it was beginning to grate on me that bit because they kept cutting to him
yeah.
doing stuff, and it was fine, and then it was like okay, this is really beginning to get on my nerves. They've got to do something with this soon, and then they do, and then you do get to a point where like oh okay, fine, you actually have done something now, and it's worked out quite well,
Oh,
and
cool. Okay.
in the end, it's actually quite a good sort of oh okay,
Right.
that's nice because now you've got to try not to spoil anything. Um, let's just say that you've got to question everybody now. You've got to question everybody's motives and everybody's sort of
Okay.
what's going on because you're not sure. Even I
Hmm.
think with Lucy, you could there's some um I enjoyed half of it. As I said, I like the sort of I guess what you would say the core stuff,
Yeah.
but all the peripheral stuff can fuck off.
Yeah.
It's just so tiresome. It really is a just can we not now? And the Maximus character he does get a good moment. He gets a really good
He had a
moment towards
couple in
the
the
end.
first season. He had a
He
couple of good
did,
moments, but
but I guess I just don't like the way they've handled the Brotherhood.
mm, yeah,
I think
fair enough.
they've made them too much of a fucking joke that I'm not happy with.
Yeah.
And sure, there was a lot of infighting between the Brotherhood. There were different factions of the Brotherhood that had different purposes. You've got the ones that wanted to cleanse the land. You've got the ones that just wanted the technology to keep the technology. You do have that, but I think they've bungled the you know how they are and how they interact with each other in this
Sure.
season, and certainly in this bloody season. Anyway, um, I guess I would still be up for watching season 3.
I am gonna finish season 2. Just
Yeah, I mean, I
at
think
some point.
it's kind of worth it. It does have there is some really nice stuff in it, and there is some really nice callbacks. Other than a few sort of questionable decisions. I mean, again, I don't think they've handled the Legion terribly well either.
Mm,
Um, Weirdly, it feels too much like um, they've spent a whole season with the peripherals setting up for the next season. You know, and you think that's
sure.
fine, but you have to actually give us something to
Suitable.
enjoy.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Yeah, you have to. You have to keep us going, and not just have them swanning around and being a bit shit.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, fair enough.
so yeah, I mean, if you enjoyed the first season, I think you'll enjoy this mostly. Um,
Okay.
and as I said, I will probably watch the third season if it does go ahead.
Yeah,
But they've really got to sort out either drop some stuff or make it bloody worthwhile. You know,
sure.
because the core stuff's good, but the rest is just fucking annoying and just I I think the main problem is that everyone seems to be an idiot.
Yeah,
It's I mean, you could say maybe it's the radiation, maybe everybody is just a moron now, but it doesn't make for interesting characters or
characters.
or or, or,
No.
or stories if they're just everyone's dumb.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
It is what it is. But there you go.
Cool. Well, is there anything else you want us to talk about, Matt?
Uh, oh, I will. I have been watching Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Okay.
So I've seen the episodes that obviously they've released because it's
Yeah,
weekly.
yeah, yeah. They're
Um,
being sensible about the release. Yeah.
I cannot recommend that enough.
It,
It's fucking excellent.
okay, great.
It
Well, that's
is
good news.
so good.
Mm-hmm.
It is the kid playing Egg is wonderful. He is so good. And well, they're all good. Um, I really really like it a lot. It's going really well. I mean, I don't know. I've never read those stories. So I don't really. I only know bits and pieces of them. But I think from what I can gather, they're doing a really good bloody job of recreating it for the screen. And
Oh,
there's
well, that's
just some
excellent.
wonderful performances and so far. And so far, providing they don't muck it up in the last couple of episodes, it's one of the best shows I've seen for a while. It's really good, really good. So yeah,
Great.
I'll when it finishes, I'll do a proper review. But
Hmm.
so far, get on it. It's really good.
Excellent. Well, did you want to any news? Any news?
Yeah,
Anything
so
going
we
on?
start
Oscar
with the bad
trailers
stuff.
happened.
Start
Okay.
with the bad stuff. Catherine
Start.
O'Hara.
Oh God, yeah. Oh my God, yes. Um, yeah. Wow. That I thought. Yeah. For some reason, I thought we'd covered that, but yes.
No, it was happened just after
Was
our
it just
last.
after the last show? Okay.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. I mean, Jesus. As a kid born in '84, she was a big part of my childhood. You know, she was in
yeah,
some real big movies.
yep,
And she always seemed like such a lovely person. You know,
yeah, yeah,
but a
lovely.
great actress. I mean, she,
Mhm.
had some
And
incredible
even
roles.
in the few dramatic roles she did,
Yeah,
she was great too. She was just an all round great actress. And but
yeah,
the comedy, her comedy styles is just wonderful.
yeah.
I mean,
She really was.
the from Beetlejuice and Home Alone and just even Schitt's Creek. Though I mean didn't do a lot for me, but people absolutely adore that show, and I have been kind of persuaded to go back to it. But I was the person who told me said I should go back said it doesn't really get good until season two, and that's when you sort of go, oh.
No, I'm
That
not
means
saying
I've got
for
to
a
watch
whole
a whole
season.
fucking
No,
season
no.
before it gets really good. Which is really such a slog.
I have a
But
three episode rule. If it's not good by 3 episodes into season one, I'm sorry. I'm not continuing
yeah,
past that point. You know. Um,
me and my wife did that with us. We started watching Big Little Lies,
oh,
and
okay. Yeah.
we watched two. It's got a fucking amazing cast. You got Reese Witherspoon. Uh, oh no, every name has gone out of my head. Um, anyway, it's got a wonderful cast. We watched two episodes, and we were both like, I hate all of these characters. They
Yeah.
all suck. They all suck. We're done. So we just dumped that one. And we didn't even get to three and done. We got to two and we're done. So yeah, it's a stretch. But yeah, her performance, I'm sure is fantastic. Um, yeah, was such a wonderful woman, and I love Macaulay Culkin. Like, still called her mum whenever they'd meet up.
Oh, he posted on social media. It was heartbreaking.
Yeah,
You know.
wasn't it? It's so sweet,
Um,
so
because
lovely.
obviously his parents were fucking awful. So,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I think she kind of adopted him, and I think he
yeah,
kind of adopted her, and well, her and John Candy, and obviously
yeah,
now both are gone. But
yeah,
yeah, I'm so glad that she got to see his Hollywood Star and stuff, and they did
yeah,
that ceremony recently. So there's that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, a massive loss, and like I said, as a kid who was watching a lot of kids movies in the 90s and some from the 80s, she was a huge part of my childhood.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, wonderful, wonderful actress.
All those Second City things were all great, all really good. It's
Yeah,
wonderful.
very good.
What else did I see? Um, okay, so on with the Mike Flanagan stuff. Um,
Yay
so Mike Flanagan, who is,
is
you know,
is good.
he's got the, but he seems to be making some weird, questionable things right at the moment
He
because
is,
we've
but it's like he's making choices where I'm like, if it was anyone but you, I wouldn't
yeah,
be
well
interested
he's
in
got,
this.
so coming up. I mean, he's a busy bunny.
Yeah,
Coming up, we've got the Kerry TV series.
sure. I think he
He's
could do very well with that, actually.
Yeah, he's got the Dark Tower that he's working on.
Can't be worse than the movie.
No, no, because that was fucking awful. He's written the script for Clayface,
Oh yeah, God, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
and he's got an Exorcist movie coming in 2027.
Yeah.
Um, this one slightly baffles me. He's going to be working on an adaptation of The Mist.
Okay. Um, the movie was perfectly fine. The series was terrible. Well, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I
I mean, you're gonna struggle to follow up on the movie.
yeah, the movie's
And the last
wonderful.
time I saw a Mist series, I thought it was garbage. So I don't
I
really
didn't
know what
even
you're going
bother.
for. It was
I
terrible.
didn't even bother with that, and to be fair, I had completely forgotten it existed.
I'd
Um,
forgotten until this very moment. It suddenly came into my head that I did actually watch almost a full season of that, and I was like, "This is terrible." Um, it was one of those
yeah,
shows that was awful, but it always had that like, when a show's terrible, but you get the feeling that it might be gonna get good in a minute.
yeah.
And you kind of
Well,
watch for far too
coming back
long
to,
before you're like, "It's not getting better. It's just gonna be this way." Yeah.
oh,
So presumably he's making a movie, right?
yeah, I think so.
Okay. I mean, it's an
Is
odd
it just
choice because I think The Mist is a wonderful movie as it is.
yeah?
And it's what I would still call a quote modern movie. It's not
Hmm.
doesn't need to be updated
Yeah,
particularly.
and it's got a wonderful ending that
Oh
Stephen
god,
King
yeah,
Stephen King loves.
yeah,
It's got a changed ending that works.
yes,
Um, I think it's a weird misstep for. I still think he shouldn't be bothering with The Exorcist, but
I bloody wouldn't. Not after Believer, Jesus.
no. Um, but this seems like another weird misstep to me. But sure, like you
Yeah,
said, if it was then almost anybody else, you'd go, "Oh, no chance at all.
Mm.
But this one does seem like a very odd choice.
Yeah.
Uh,
Very strange.
Trailers wise, I really liked the season 2 trailer for One Piece.
Sure. Yeah. Look good.
Really looking forward to that. Uh, have you seen the trailer for Young Sherlock?
No.
Um, so I it looked okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's got um uh Fiennes in it, playing I think their dad. Oh, his sorry, Sherlock's dad. You've
Yeah.
got the young what's his name? I can't remember what the kid's name is now. Hang on. He's the nephew stroke son of Ray Fiennes and thingy finds it. Is it? That's not Phineas. What's his name? This is good. Young Sherlock. Hero Fiennes is the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Hero Hero finds Tiffin, I should say, is and it's got his uncle sort of thing playing his playing his dad, I think. Uh, I thought he looked okay. There is a
Yeah.
weird sort of thing. Is he's at Oxford with Moriarty, which is okay.
Mm.
Weird choice, but fine. And I don't know whether I don't know how, but I think um, Guy Ritchie's involved in it.
Okay.
So he hasn't created it, but he's involved, which makes me think. Well, it can't be
A prequel.
linked. Yeah,
Hmm.
because that wouldn't make sense because him and
No.
Moriarty never met until the second movie. So
No.
it's a bit weird, but it looked fun. Being the massive fan of Sherlock Holmes that I am, I will give it a
Yeah.
go.
That should be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it looked okay. Um, we had a brief discussion about the Super Bowl trailers. There was nothing that
Yeah, I didn't think none of the trailers changed my mind on any of the movies that I saw the trailers for.
no, still not
I thought
watching. Still not
Project Hail
watching
Mary
Super
looks
Bowl.
great. Disclosure Day still looks great. Or
Yep,
Disclosure, whatever it's called, that looks great. Supergirl
yep,
still looks terrible. Like
yep.
all of the movies that I thought looked terrible still look terrible, and all the movies I thought looked great still look great.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing really changed my mind either way. I was
And
indifferent.
the weird Grogu Mandalorian trailer was like, okay,
I was
okay.
never gonna watch that
Or,
anyway, so
no, I'm not. I'm
whatever.
not going to watch it either.
I was
But
never gonna watch that movie.
what a weird choice that was.
Bizarre. I thought it was a joke, and then I was like, "Oh no, this isn't official." I was like, "Is this official, or has someone done this as a laugh?"
It weirdly felt like some sort of Christmas thing. You got them on like a torn sleigh, and it was like, why?
Yeah, it was bizarre
Really
choice.
strange. Yeah, sure, okay.
That just sums up Disney Star Wars, doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
they just don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's like, yeah, sure, that
no,
looks about right.
what?
That was my takeaway. I kind of saw it and went, yeah, that's about why, because I haven't watched Disney Star Wars for many years, and I'm like, yeah,
No,
that's pretty much why I assume it. That's pretty much why I assume it's like.
yeah. And to be honest, Grogu's all they've got at the moment.
Well, yeah, I guess
It's
so.
it's the
Well, I
only
heard that what's that TV show that Andor people seem to really
standard.
like, but yeah.
Well, I think that's got a very small, audience champion
Right.
audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
As
Yeah.
it's it's not
It's the one that people tell
not
me is good.
mainstream.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. It's not mainstream love like
No,
Star Wars could be.
it's not going to sell
You know,
toys, is it? Yeah.
no, it's not. Um, so yeah, Grogu's the only thing that they've kind of got, and that's love of that is even waning now. So
Right. Yeah.
I struggle to see how that's gonna. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe everybody will go and see it, but I'd be bloody
I'm sure
surprised.
people will go see it. Because I thought Mandalorian was really popular, but maybe it's not anymore.
I think it,
I've watched half of the first season. That's all I've watched. So,
I think the
um,
numbers have plummeted as the seasons have
oh,
gone by.
okay, right.
So you know. But yeah, that's kind of it. There's nothing else
Mm.
that I could find that was interesting, really.
No, we were kind of lamenting the Super Bowl trailers of old, weren't we?
Yeah,
The kind of, used to get really excited, and
things
now
we
it's
look
like,
forward to. Yeah,
it feels like we've
and
had kind of nothing for a couple of years now when it comes to Super Bowl trailers. You're like, oh, okay,
yeah,
you know. Um,
and it's not
I
bloody
used to I
cheap.
used to have it in my diary to be like Super Bowl day,
Yeah.
Got to check all the trailers.
Well, like you said, we at one point many years ago we gave a fuck about the Oscars.
We had segments on the Oscars and the Super Bowl
Did?
and stuff on the radio show, so
Yeah,
we used to do proper coverage. But
couldn't give two
not
tosses
anymore.
now.
No.
So just boring and shit,
Yes.
and yeah. So yeah, no. It's
Nope.
just it's just sad that
It is
you
sad.
know
I mean,
there's
the
no
the thing is,
anticipation for these things anymore.
there are still great films out there. They're just
Yeah,
not coming from the Hollywood
no,
machine currently, or very few
no.
are. There's still some good ones, but
I mean,
for the
look
most
at
part.
that Iron Lung. That's doing amazingly right
Yeah,
now.
I mean that looks fun. I will definitely watch that at some point.
Yeah, so would I. And I don't know anything about the guy who's done it. I just thought the
No, me
trailer was
either.
good, and I
I
was
know
really
he's a
happy.
YouTuber. I know he's a really
Yeah, that's
popular
that's
YouTuber.
kind of all I know. I've never seen any of his stuff or anything, but
No.
you know,
He looked good
he
in the
sounds like
trailer though.
yeah, sounds like he's done a bang up job, and that's
Yeah.
so there is stuff still out there,
Mm.
but like you said, it's just not coming from fucking Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah. Never mind. What are we gonna do next week, Matt?
So next week we
Yes.
are doing The Last Action Hero.
Oh yeah, we agreed to do The Last Action Hero and then I
We
forgot.
did.
That makes me happy. I love that movie. Can't wait.
Yeah.
So we will be back next week. This is how bad my memory is. We will be back next week with The Last Action Hero. I think one of Arnie's most underrated movies. I know
Yep.
it's Marmite and people hate it and people love it. We firmly love it. So
We do.
we will be covering it next week. Until then, stay safe, take care, and we will catch you next time.
Bye.